Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Monday, and you know what day it is? It is Mindful Merchants. Right now, we are here. And if you guys don't know, this is my co host, Cali Reseller Luis, the one and only. And down
Hello,
below,
guys.
guess who we have today, Luis?
Yeah, we have our special guest, a good friend of ours, Miss Lucky Charm WenDee.
Lucky Charm. Oh, I think that's
Hi.
me doing my feedback already. Here it goes. I didn't catch it in time. I always think I'm going to push that mute button in time and stuff. And by the way, if you guys don't know, I'm the Lone Star Picker, and we are, of course, on Cali Reseller Luis's channel today. I think I hear there's another. Something I think is with my speaker. I'm going to have to work on the speaker system. So I hear these like little echoes once in a while.
Yeah.
All right. Unless one of you guys caught it. That's good. So, WenDee, thank you for being here. This is Lucky Charm WenDee. Would you give yourself a little introduction and let everybody
Yes.
know?
First, it's an honor to be on your show, and thank you for asking me to come.
Not at all.
Whoever doesn't know me, I'm Lucky Charm WenDee. I'm I'm a full-time reseller, part-time YouTuber,
Okay.
and I'm a caregiver. So I'm part of a sandwich generation care for my mother that's an elderly woman, my husband that's disabled, and a disabled child all at the same time, on top of working.
Wow.
I sell on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, and Facebook Marketplace and Facebook Store.
You do Facebook store as well? Okay.
Yes.
So how long have you been doing that?
My Facebook store started last year.
Okay. How do you like dealing with that? Because that's like a whole different thing, dealing with the public, and they do it. It's not the same as doing eBay. So
The Facebook store is the same as eBay.
Mm-hmm.
It has categories and selling the same way we do on eBay. We don't see the people.
Well, yeah. Okay. So you do like, okay, you don't do meetups necessarily all the time. Okay.
That's Facebook Marketplace. That's different than the store.
Okay.
Yeah, that's totally different.
I'm sorry. I'm mishearing. I'm getting a skip and a beat here.
Yes, the
Okay.
Facebook Marketplace is different from the Facebook store. It's completely different.
Good
Right,
Lord,
exactly.
have mercy. So, yeah, there we go. Something I need to like touch bases on. And
Mhm.
how I haven't done the store yet because, I just don't have time. I'm already like full of capacity with doing what the way I deal with things. Do you do any like other marketplace stuff like in the public or anything? Or the
I do
community?
Facebook Marketplace too. But mostly shipping. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the people that want to buy something are not local.
Yeah.
But for
That's
bigger
good.
items, I do local.
Okay, so you do get a parameter of people that are coming out from elsewhere and whatnot.
Correct. And then I do during the cooler months. I do the outdoor markets and stuff like that.
That's what I was going to ask you. So, like, do you ever do church sales or outdoor markets and stuff? And what do you sell?
We have a vintage store here that I sell stuff at. I sell a lot of artwork, toys. I do books, and I try to stay away from clothing, but that doesn't seem to happen. I still end up seeming to get a ton of clothing. And I try to do
you
vintage
collect
stuff.
it or just find it so at a good price and just end up there it is?
No, 90% of my stuff I get for free.
Yeah, that's good.
Awesome.
Everybody knows that I talk to people, so through my church and through my neighborhood, they know that I resell. So they clean out their closets and we know where to get it, and they give it to me.
I love hearing that, WenDee. Thanks for letting us know because there's going to be, we're hoping that if there's anybody that's a new reseller or something like that, this is something that, we can put up, without putting the cart in front of the horse, let them know that first get your horse ready, feed it, what I'm saying is like get our ducks in a row and then load up your cart. If you get stuff for free, that's awesome. We'll talk about that maybe in about a couple minutes. But first and foremost, Luis, let's say hi to some people. If you want to pop them up, I'll be happy to read, or you can read.
All right. No, go ahead, Louie.
Hey, we got Swag Slayer Fashion. Thank you for being here. Good to see you. She says, hello, everybody.
Hi, Kevin.
You got Big Kevin. What's up, Kevin?
That's the Big Kev. You guys, if you guys don't know everybody's channel that we're popping up on here, go check them out. Most of them are YouTubers. And if not, check to see if they do content creation on Instagram. So who is this, WenDee? Do you know this guy?
Johnny.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, guys, Johnny, how you doing?
Hi, Johnny.
Luis, remind him about what's after this with Johnny.
Yes, after we're done with our Mindful Merchants live, you guys head over to Johnny's channel for bingo. Him and Dina actually run the bingo, and I haven't participated in the bingo, but I do listen to it in the background as I'm working. So
It's a lot of fun.
I need to jump in one of these days and make some time to get in on the bingo with them.
When are you going to have time, buddy? We're all so busy. I did it once, and it's like so funny because I think WenDee, right, does he still do moon pies? Because I'll sneak in there and say hi to everybody, and then I'm jumping out. Oh, he does?
He gives moon pies or whatever the people donate.
Okay.
I actually got to send Johnny something. I actually found this old sign. It's a moon pie sign that I need to send him. So I don't know if he has it, but I'm still gonna send it to him though.
It'd be great if you could put it in the background. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely. I'll touch base with you, Johnny.
Most definitely. Alrighty. So we got Maggie Doodle, Thrift Shop Fashionista.
Hello, Maggie Doodle. Welcome.
Hi, Maggie.
One and only Regina Michelle.
Regina. Hello.
And if you guys didn't hear it, Louis said it here first. Go on. Is he? I don't know if Derek is there too, but Regina, remind us, is it going to be on your channel or is it Derek's channel this week? That this guy over here is going to be the guest on the Wednesday.
I'm not sure whose channel will be on, but make sure you just look out for the thumbnail. I'll be on with Regina and Derek this Wednesday.
Yeah, most def. Sounds good. Who else do we got in here? Who's Tom Cruise? He was a former.
Hi, Tom.
Who's Tom Cruise?
We'll do this. Ready? All right. We got Resell Dojo. Good to see you.
Hey, good to see you.
Good to have you. Katie Reeds. One day we'll get her. We're going to have to figure out this.
Yeah, we need to get Katie on with us sometime soon.
We'll do a pre-recorded with her, I think, because she's got a, job. Yeah. Good to see you, Katie.
Hi, Katie.
Hello, Dina.
Hi, Dina.
There's Miss Dina. Thank you for being here. You guys join her and Johnny a little bit after we're done with Mindful Merchants.
Definitely. Hello, Janine.
There's Miss Janine Ketchum. Hello.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Good to have you. There's Secrets of Wanderlust Reselling. Hello, everybody. She says.
Hi, Shane and Samantha.
Hello, guys. I know in following their road trip to what was it that they went to, that Comic-Con or the...
Comic-Con, yeah. Last weekend.
So that's pretty cool.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm dying to... I have all my bookmarks, and it's like, I've been...
Yeah, you need to check out their channel, Louie. They have some awesome...
Oh, no. Yeah, I have it on bookmark. Yeah. No, I know their channel. I just haven't watched it yet. Their newest.
Hey, Adam.
Hi, Adam.
Hey, Adam. It's good to see you. That's Adam Hartman Made. Go check him out. No, I just, as you guys know, or maybe you don't know, I've been out of town for a week. I had some family stuff. So, yeah, it's hard to catch up with YouTube and stuff. How do you deal with that, WenDee? Do just the daily, weekly thing? Are you able to balance it? Because it sounds like you got a lot on your plate. Like you're a caretaker. You're doing reselling and stuff. Hey, Mark, good to see you. There's Tino.
Normally, I have everything planned out. The last 10 days has been crazy. If you follow my Facebook page, you'll see we have an 88-year-old missing man in my community, and I have been out searching, literally in the swamps, searching for this guy for the last 10 days, and we still haven't found him yet. So after I'm done with Johnny's bingo, I'll be out there again searching for him tonight.
Okay.
So
remind everybody, do you mind sharing what state you're in so they know?
I'm in Florida. But we don't know if he's in Florida anymore. I live right off the highway, so if he got on the highway, he has dementia, so we don't know if he's in his right mind at this point or not. Yeah. But if he got on the highway, he could be in any state at this point. So we have...
Yeah, I mean, he could get in a car with somebody and just taking a ride, or who knows. Wow.
The fact that he's 88 years old, we think somebody might have thought he was homeless and could have picked him up and taken him to another state trying to be nice. And he was a truck driver in the past. So, with dementia, your mind goes back to your younger years. So he may be trying to get to a truck stop or something. We have no idea at this point. But we are searching, and we will not stop searching until we find him. So, of course, that puts everything, my whole schedule, crazy.
Yeah.
And then we had the auction for my husband Friday, so...
Yes.
That too changed everything.
Let's talk about that. So you've been very busy. We wanted to talk a little bit about philanthropy in terms of being a mindful merchant, and we're just grateful for this community. Remember you emailed me about a month ago, and I said I'd love to, try to participate in any best way I could. And unfortunately, like I said, I had a family event come up with,
and we are praying for your family.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Can we talk a little bit about that? And
Yes.
you obviously had 2 auctions, correct? And maybe you and
I
Louis
had
can talk
one,
about it
and
more.
Adam Hartman had one yesterday.
Okay.
Mine was to raise money for my husband's oxygen concentrator. It's a machine. It looks like a square book almost that will give him 24-hour concentrated oxygen, so we don't run out of oxygen, which is what just happened. Last weekend, he ran out of oxygen while we were at the doctor's office. He ended up cutting his heel, and with diabetes, they don't heal very well. So we've been doing wound care every 2 days. And while we were at the doctor's office, we ran out of oxygen. And thankfully, the truck just came right before I started this show today.
Yeah.
So
That
this machine
deserves
will
a
now
name
give
into
him
that.
24-hour oxygen, and we won't have to worry about not being without oxygen. So he'll be able to go out and travel and do things now that he can't do.
I am
And
so
this
happy to
community
hear
is so amazing. They raised with Cali Reseller Luis was there, and Tom was there, and Tommy Buffalo Picker, and so many other people were there.
that.
We had a 7.5-hour auction and raised $3,400. 700 of that went to Adam Hartman's wife because she has to have a full body scan that's not covered by her insurance. And we were able to get my husband his oxygen machine.
That is just phenomenal. Like Cali Reseller Luis gave me a call, like he was checking up on me, and it was
he brought the Inferno.
Yeah,
he didn't even bring the fire. He brought the Inferno.
But I wanted to let you know that he called me to let me know because we were touching bases about, are you going to be back in time? And I decided to go ahead and make the decision to go ahead and stay just a little bit longer with my mom to kind of help everything, the situation where I was at. But I will say, with that being said, it's not about me. This is about what happened. And I was, he was when he gave me the news, Luis, and you're going to take over in a minute, is that we were just so phenomenally, like, I would say I was just flabbergasted just hearing the news. I can only imagine what this guy and everybody, let alone, you got to remember the people in the live chat, those are the ones that really make it happen.
Of course. And I'm so grateful to everybody. I was in tears. I had to try to compose myself because everybody else didn't want to be crying, but that did happen.
Yeah.
WenDee, that's a true sense of gratitude. That shows your heart. Yeah. We've seen you in this community for a very long time. And as of late, I want to say as of early this year, you made your first and formal, introduction, which I'm very happy you did, because it takes not only a lot of courage, but it shows that you're ready to really integrate and collaborate, with the community, and that we call YouTube. And as we talk about in Mindful Merchants, we're not just content creators, but the majority of our little circle is content creation who happen to be resellers or somehow related to the reselling community. But let's go back. Luis, do you have any comments, and take over for a little bit, let's hear your perspective, then let WenDee jump back in, or WenDee jump in anytime you want to. Talk about the formation of, we're talking about the one that happened on Friday. Yeah, it was Friday. God, my days are really mixed up because I drove it. I was 12 hours on the road Saturday, and that was part of my issue, was the driving to and from. So, Luis, talk about that a little bit. Like, how was it?
I mean, when WenDee reached out to me and told me what they were, what the plan was to do to help, her husband Bob, I told her straight out,
boom,
go ahead, count me in. And I told her,
thank you.
Use my name so that other people know. Look, we already got Luis on board, so that's why I told her, go ahead and use my name in case anybody asks who else is involved. And like I said, it's a no-brainer. I like to help out, and I love this community, and when one of us is in trouble, then we all need to step in and help out. We're like a big family, so we need to support each other and be here for each other.
Exactly.
And in whatever way possible that we can. I mean, I'm grateful that I'm in a position where I was able to donate my time and stuff to help WenDee and Bob. So.
And he brought an Inferno. What you normally see on his auctions is nothing to what he did on Friday.
Well, let me interject, because I was there, and I did get to poke my head in a little bit, but with a mom who, speaking of dementia, like you were talking about, the one, my mom is starting to kind of creep into the subtle stages of that in early stage. So, when we talk about stuff like that, and now that was a scenario of somebody who you didn't know, it just shows the kindness of your heart, which I think is a karmatic kind of thing, a karma thing, where it's coming back to you because you are, a really rich and loving individual. You are a pastor, correct? You're a minister.
I'm a minister.
Minister. Yeah.
I'm a minister, not a pastor.
Yeah. But like pop up what Picking in the Hood said about the WenDee part, So, and
he was on the show too.
That guy is. I can only imagine, like with Tommy and Tom and Luis and everybody else that was on there. Just, I'm glad, and it just takes a few people. Really, that's what it's all about. It's like that time we did one like this for, I think it was Jennifer. At one point, and it speaks volumes. Not everybody can always be everywhere at all at once and one time, but we can show our support. And I remember reaching out to people in emails saying, make sure you're there. Please just show up. It's important to do that. And, we all have situations where we can and can't be there, but we can help in many, many ways.
We have an amazing community. We're more family than, and some of us haven't even met each other yet. We're a tight-knit family.
Yeah.
It's amazing what we can do.
We may never meet each other, and that doesn't matter because we know each other through the words of that what we see here on YouTube and our lives, that when once in a while we have and I say quote unquote privilege to be able to talk and communicate, Yeah, exactly like Tom Cruise says, the community came together that night. But
at this point in one weekend, we have 2 family members that are both being helped now, which is incredible.
Isn't that amazing? And there's a lot of people out there that need lots of help, but you know what? It goes to show that, we just, we do what we can. We're wherever we can be at the time. And, I don't like to get into religious talk too much, but spiritually, it just shows that, there is a spirit in nature in terms of like humanity and, call it God or whatever, and, we're all there, I think, with this concept. And it's like, Tom Cruise just said it best, is the community comes together. Then, it really takes a ripple effect like that. Talk about your faith in terms of spirituality. I mean, you're welcome to bring up, if you want to talk, some.
I'm a Christian Jew. I was raised Jewish, and I still believe in the Jewish stuff. And I'm a Christian.
I've never asked you, but I kind of figured. Okay, cool. I love it.
For those that know, I was born in New York, so I was born in Brooklyn, so I have that in me. But I was raised by a Sicilian grandfather, so
I love it.
And my family's Italian, so my husband's
ate a lot of good
Italian.
food. You ate a lot of good food.
Back in the day when they were still alive to be able to cook it, yeah. Nothing's the same anymore, but yeah. My faith is very strong. I pray all day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And when I get stressed out for whatever reason, it could be eBay, YouTube, whatever's happening, my thing is to go to prayer. And an important thing that I do, which I think all resellers should do, is get up every few minutes from what they're doing, not sit in the chair all day long, because that doesn't help our bodies. Our legs start getting vascular problems, or our heart, or whatever. So I make sure, like, every half hour, no matter what I'm doing, I get up. Sometimes I'll walk outside, just look at the birds for a few minutes, get some fresh air, say a prayer or whatever, and then I'll come back and do what I do.
Thank you for mentioning that. That's
how I stay focused.
Awesome. Oh, so even better. So, like, we talk about this a lot on this program, WenDee, you might notice. You just said the word focus. And so trying for resellers, let alone content creators who, if you're like me, you got ADD, and it's like trying to keep that balance of things. We want to maintain our focus and do what? We want to elevate. But I think what you brought up was a very mindful action, and we don't talk about that enough, is our physical well-being. So,
right.
One of our things I think it's really rich, and I want you to take over from here, WenDee, is talk a little bit about that. How when did you become even more and more conscious? I think we're all conscious that we can sit on a couch and realize we're being lazy, but what do we do about it? Like you brought a fine point. Not only get up, like you said, for vascular, and blood flow, and creating energy in a way that you don't sit there for. I've sat in a chair for like 5 hours straight doing critical eBay work that I thought was no, it didn't help me in the long run. Your legs cramping, your back hurts, this and that. Like you even said, just subtly, you said, just go out and listen to the birds for 2 seconds. It changes the direction of your thinking, doesn't it?
Luis can tell you, because he has 1,000 hats he's wearing also. like I'm doing. We are the foundation of our families. If I'm not strong, healthy, mentally and physically, I can't care for the other people in my family. And my business, I can't do my business then. I can't do the things that have to be done.
Yep.
If I'm not healthy myself, my husband doesn't get cared for, my kid doesn't get cared for, my mother doesn't get cared for, my business fails.
And
so
it
I have
you, and it can affect you.
Right. So I have to be mindful to know that I have to drink water every day. I have to take my vitamins every day, eat correctly. It's easy to go to the fast food and grab fast food, but I know, that that's not good for me. So I don't do that. I don't eat fast food.
Let's go there. Let's talk about habits and not necessarily eat. Well, yes, eating, but because like Luis, at least he was trying to eat something and we caught him. He was, before we came on. I don't think we were live yet, but he was like, I'm eating a little fruit. I'm like, good.
Yeah.
It's not a rotten, whatever, sour candy or something like that. But yeah, let's talk about mindful habits. What would you say for resellers? Would you recommend, because you are a minister, so you can minister ideas and concepts and aspects of conscious well-being. What would you suggest to anybody or content creators? What could you suggest for them as good mindful habits?
My thing is to plan everything that you do. Try to plan as much as you can. Like I try to anyhow, on Sunday or Mondays rather, because I don't work on Sundays. So on Mondays, I try to plan like for the week of food, my videos, whatever I'm going to do. I try to plan it out on Monday to do for the whole week. So that might be just cutting up some vegetables and putting it into containers so that when I'm busy on Wednesday, it's already ready. Or using my slow cooker to make the meal on a day that I know that I'm going to be busy that day. So while I'm doing a video, my food's still cooking because I have the slow cooker cooking.
Just throw it in there. Throw the carrots. Throw the celery. Whatever
it needs to be. I mean, like when school's starting right now, maybe making your sandwiches for your kids the night before, so that you're not rushing at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, whatever time it is, to get everything done.
Yeah, very
have that coffee set up the night before, so when you wake up, your coffee's already ready. You're out the door and you're not rushing.
Yeah, I have a ritual every day that kind of helps me put a position, and everybody's different. Like, if you got one of those timer coffees, I'm not about that. I like to have my coffee, whether it's freshly ground or and boil my water. I do it in a certain way. And then it's like kind of a ritual in a way where like, this is taking care of me. This is what's going to be the first step. So the reason I mentioned that is not to talk about me, but you were talking about planning. Planning is so sufficient. I don't think that enough resellers realize, we have these little, what is it I'm trying to say? We all have our own habits, but then sometimes breaking a habit, you may even be okay and it's working for you. Sometimes just breaking from that habit a little bit consciously, like saying, you know what? I've been doing this for 7 weeks like this. Let's try something a little different today. Do I need that extra cup of coffee that just, I get all jittered up, or, can I drink a cup of tea? Or is it like, what can, if I skip my coffee, can I drink something instant real quick and go, or another route or something like that, or whatever it is you're doing in terms of your habits,
As resellers and YouTubers, we also have to, like I said earlier, get into that mindset of standing up every so often and changing what we're doing. It makes our minds so different when we do that.
I'm glad you recognize that. We say the same thing in my community. Change the direction of how you see things, not necessarily your thinking, but how are you seeing it? Like we get so.
And just taking a 5-second break can make that happen. You can be focusing, struggling how to make a video, edit a video or something like that, and you're struggling with it. You get up for 5 seconds and go look at the birds or see the squirrels running outside or something like that.
Comes on or something,
right? Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Good to know. That's these are things I wish we talked about a little bit more. And this is one reason I wanted to talk to you, because I was looking forward to the day, WenDee, we get to pick your brain. You've always been nice. You've always reached out to
Thank you.
me and Luis and everybody in the community. And, your positivity is one reason I've had you on our list too. And I think this is perfect timing. But let's go back a little bit and cherish, it wasn't long ago. It was just a few days ago that this community came together. And I want to say personally, and then I'm sure Luis may have some words too, and he needs to talk more because he never gets to say enough. Is that I just want to say thank you for everybody that did support, not just WenDee, but that support each other in a mindful fashion. And I may come off as like a little bit more direct and serious today, but I'm in just one of those moods where, you know, all joking aside, you know, it's one thing to be fluffy and fun, but people don't know this about me other than Luis. He knows I can get on a soapbox and get really high, you know, and not almighty, but just really like, let's just cut to the BS. And that is, you know, everybody here has a heart. Everybody in this live chat, we're going to stop here in a minute and say hi to those folks. And I just think it's just really important and imperative. It's very important that we keep on this mindful concept is that you want to be a merchant. What are you doing for your community? You want to be a merchant. How are you taking care of yourself? You want to be a good merchant, then sell good products and don't sell crap, you know, and like, you know, and try to, at least if you make a mistake, you know, help somebody.
Own it.
Right, you know, thank you. Go ahead and say that again.
Own it.
You preach it, girl. Come on, let's go. Let's go.
You know, we're human. We make mistakes. That happens. But we need this community this weekend came together and raised each other up instead of tearing each other down. Because in so many chats, you see that people are tearing each other down. This weekend, we raised each other up. We came together, which is what we should be doing.
Yeah.
We can move as a community. We can move mountains.
Yeah. Yeah. We're not gonna. Yeah. We don't ever. Hey, Cat D, welcome. Let's go back real quick. Do you mind, WenDee, real quick? We're just
go ahead.
How far back do we go? I see Little Miss Q. If you see him, just punch away, Luis, even if it's not the right name, and I'll mention the name if you want. Just I see Secrets of Wanderlust Reselling. We did say hi. Early Bird, welcome, Early Bird.
Hi, Early Bird.
And the Flower Girl is here. We can now. All right, get ready.
Hi, Jeff.
This guy is something else. He does it quietly in a quirky, loving way. Is Jeff eBay Addicts? He tries to uplift as many people as he can. Boy, I'm gonna tell you what, he does a lot of people more than we do, and we're gonna have to get back to the double up. You know, Zagon Tiger Mark. I missed you earlier, but I saw you, brother. Little Miss Q. Is that Q? Yeah. She says, I don't eat much fast food or junk food much either, but it makes me feel awful. Let's talk not necessarily junk food. Let's talk about what we put into our body, not necessarily food. Want to talk about that? Either one of you?
I start my day with prayer every day.
Okay.
The first thing before I answer my cell phone, before I answer the phone, before I get out of bed, I do prayer. That's, treats my spiritual body.
Yeah.
Which is, to me, is most important.
Good.
So that's the first thing I do, no matter what it is, unless the house is on fire, which in that case I'm running out the door. But I start my day every day with prayer.
Well, some of us need to act like our house is on fire, I think, in the sense that, and I'm metaphorically speaking, is that, like you mentioned the word prayer. I have no issue with it. I know there's some people like, I'm not into. Well, you can still be a positive influence. You know, prayer. There's this thing called wish, and wishes are some of the most powerful things, I think. And if you really truly believe something in your heart, I believe you can manifest it. To me, that's prayer. You know, it's a form of well-being in terms of your conscious thinking. Like if you keep thinking negative thoughts all the time, guess what your actions are going to do? Do you have any?
It's going to be negative.
You see it maybe in your own personal community. Have you ever run across somebody that just mechanical, blah blah blah, cussing all the time, or just negative? More about negative, I just don't like negative people, to go off and hurt other people, and you said that, so I think it's important for us to recognize that as YouTubers, don't you think?
Yep. Yeah. People ask me all the time how I smile all the time, and I tell them because, I take the positive. Of course there's negative in the world, but I don't try to deal with that. I try to deal with positive. There's a positive in every situation, regardless of what it is.
Yeah. Some people misperceive that. Sometimes they think that is a weakness, and I tell them I've had people try to take advantage of me in situations. They go, Louie, and they think, oh, he's the clumsy fool or whatever. I'm like, I'm reading their mind, and I'm like, it's okay, you can judge me all you want, you can think of me as the guy that talks too much or whatever, and it's like, no, I got stuff that it's just that I think a little bit too fast, and it's like, I just handle things in a different fashion. But, when you're judging somebody, or you see other people, in the live chats and things start to get critical, things just don't seem to, it just, when you go into a room, when I say a room, it could be a live chat room or a physical room in your own community, whether, it's like nobody wants to be around the guy that may be a little too direct or something like that. But it's also, I think it's on how we react to other people, don't you think?
My
Yeah.
theory is if they see me smiling, it's going to bring a smile to them.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty hard to just watch somebody smiling all the time and still be upset. So even if it's for that 30-second time frame, they're going to start smiling or they'll
That's
feel
true.
that warmness in their heart.
That's amazing that you talk about stuff like this, because some people are a little, I don't know what, I mean, even like the people that are a little bit too up, I don't want to use the word uppity because then it sounds like I'm pointing the finger, but like there are some uppity people I've run across where like, what are you smiling about? It's like, or they don't want to participate in a moment of joy.
Yep.
If that makes any sense. And it's like, you don't have to like give me a Cheshire cat grin from ear to ear. But the first time I saw you, and the reason I'm going on about this is the first time I saw you, you were, I think, on
Johnny's show?
and your
Probably.
incessant smile, was just contagious.
That's me all the time.
I'm like, I'm just glad she's on here, and Johnny, I want to say, Johnny, I know he's listening in somewhere. If he doesn't get to rewatch this, and anybody else, no matter who you see on here, we all have our lives. We all have our amazing, difficulties, and those things that can be counted as blessings, or you just say, this is something for me to learn from.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like we learned something this last weekend. Luis, do you have any comments on that? What do you have to say?
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, you gotta always be positive. You gotta wake up. Every day above ground is a good day already. So
Yeah.
you gotta thank the Lord, and
Mm-hmm.
just always keep a positive mind. Doesn't matter what the negativity or what's going on around you. Just keep that positive energy with you, and it'll help you throughout the day.
That's just it. And I'm gonna mention this briefly, and then WenDee talk about this and talk about how we can affect both a reseller and maybe help content creators. Luis just talked about this, like being thankful. You just got to be thankful. Gratitude is a key word. Gratitude is what, to me, it's all about. I will say this much. One of my things I do, like you said, change things up a little bit. The first thing when I get up in the morning, I haven't done it in a while, but I started doing it again. And I'll take turns. Is I'll wake up, and the first thing I do is not make too much of a physical movement, but I'll sit there and kind of think about the day. But I think of 3 things and 3 people that I'm grateful for. And the people, I usually try to pick different people, so I don't forget others, and it could be a YouTuber, it could be a family member, it could be a new person I met, talk about gratitude, if you would, from your perspective, WenDee.
I do that all the time. I'm always grateful, and I'm always telling people, and people sometimes think I'm overly grateful, which is, I don't think it's possible, but that's something I do. I'm always thanking everybody.
Yeah.
I thank the Lord every morning that I'm awake.
Yeah.
And then I do, to me, I do like I ams. I am strong. I am healthy. I am, I do that to myself.
Isn't that kind of a form of gratitude? Because you're saying,
Yep.
I am, because you're accepting what you're gifted. It's a gift.
What we put into ourselves is what comes out. So if we put in negativity comes out. If you put in positive, I am strong. I'm devoted. I'm strong. I'm able-bodied. I'm whatever. Even if you're the sickest person in the world, if you put those I ams into your positives into your body, that's what's going to happen. Regardless if you have cancer, you have mental disability, whatever your situation is, it's going to raise the endorphins in our body.
Yeah. Another way, I heard a very unique spiritual advisor that I listen to from time to time when things don't always go. And I'd like to hear from both you and Luis, as part of the conversation, is like when you kind of get in that dark place, and some people, different people call it different things, dark nights of the soul, just depression. Sometimes it's just a challenge in life. Like you got in a car wreck and at the same time somebody died, and then I don't have food in the fridge, or whatever it is. You got problems, we all have problems. It's how do we, obviously want to handle it. And like you said something where, like, I was putting in the context, like we have higher vibrations of within in and of ourselves. Some people call it energy, some people call it the spirit. How do you change your frequencies? How can you give a new reseller that's going through like I can't do this. I can't figure out how to edit. I can't figure out how to list. I don't know where to go source, you know. And that's negative thoughts you put back into yourself. Instead of that, I am going to find a place to source. I am going to figure out how to get out of this situation. I am, you know, that I am.
We are blessed with this community that is so large and so amazing that any question we have, there's somebody in this community we can ask.
Mm-hmm. That's
and
true.
most of the people here will not give you a negative, you know, that was a stupid question or whatever. Almost everybody I've come across has been willing to take that time, especially Johnny. He's answered more questions than I can imagine asking him.
Yeah.
You've done the same thing. Both of you have done it when I've asked questions. And that's how I learned in the beginning. And nowadays we have Google, so technically anything you want to learn, you can learn. You know, YouTube, Google, you can learn anything.
But it's not the same when you talk to, let me get to this
Correct.
point, is when you talk to an artificial intelligence, although humans put that information in the Google chat. But it is, do you see what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like back to the word community, but like you said, you thank, and by the way, thank you, you know, Luis, and I'm sure we both thank you. You know, we're happy to be there if we can. And like I said, and I'll be the first foremost, is like, I felt really guilty. And Luis said, don't feel guilty. You know, you need to be with your mom at this time.
Of course.
And
family comes first.
No, I mean, it really ate away at me, you know, and I went, and I remember something that a 90-something-year-old at my church once said. And they said, because I was watching, I used to do, it's like equivalent to like, you know, what's the word? Some churches call it one thing or another. We call ours godly play, but it's for different ages of young children. And basically I couldn't step it up, and I couldn't be there. And the lady was like, Louie, don't worry about it. They're taken care of, meaning
Exactly.
God's got them, you know, or the community or the church is always going to be there. Somebody will step it up. And I went, and that thought was such a positive thought, reaffirming thought. I went, WenDee's not going to hate me, you know. I mean, and if anything, and she knows that, you know, and I do, I care from the bottom of my heart.
First thing I told you is I'd be praying for you, and that's exactly what I do.
Yeah, and you do, you know, and that just, you know, that's humbling. This is what I'm saying. I'm going to put myself out there because it's uncomfortable for dudes to talk about. I think it's uncomfortable for anybody. It's not about a sexual, you know, whether it's man or a guy or, you know, whatever. And it's not even a cultural thing. I think it's what we get is the respect that we see from each other, and that we can be there whether we know much about each other or not, you know. And Luis was like, maybe it's good that you have that time, you know, stay that extra day you need, because it was a long drive. And, you know, when I heard the news, I was like filled with joy. Luis was like, oh my God, if you would have heard Luis's voice, I mean, he wouldn't shut up on the phone. And for once, I didn't get in a word into it. He's like, you won't believe it, Louie. And I'm like, what? And as soon as I said something, he kept going. And I went, let him run. You know, and he was so elated. And it wasn't even about him. He was talking about Tommy Buffalo Picker brought this, and Tom Cruise, and I was there, and so was there, and Jarhead was like, you know, had this thing, and I was like, and then he was talking about your experience, you know, and I just went, we got to have you on.
I never expected any of that to happen.
Yeah.
My goal was like $500. It would have been over the moon for me.
Just to get started.
When we got, so everybody kept telling me, we know we're going to keep on going until it happens, and you know, until we got the goal that I needed, and I wasn't expecting that at all. And when we got to 30, we were 7.5 hours into it.
Yep.
We stopped at 3:30 in the morning, my time, Eastern time.
Thinkable.
Yep.
So I was like I said, I was in tears, but I was trying to control myself because everybody else didn't want to be in tears at the moment.
Yep.
But when you see the follow-up video, because my husband does not know what happened. He knows there was an auction, but he does not know why, because I didn't want to not get the money and, you know, upset him that way, or not be able to get the oxygen machine or anything. So I didn't want to say anything.
Surprise him too now. Now you get
his birthday is September 4th. He'll be 65 on September 4th, and I will be giving it to him.
September 4th. My daughter's September 5th. So okay.
He's going to be 65 on the 4th, and I'm giving it to him then, provided that they deliver it on time. We're hoping. They're telling me 3 weeks, so hopefully it'll be here on time.
Need that oxygen so you can like get excited.
So he has more freedom to go
That will
about
be a
and
tearful
go
video,
out.
and I've been telling everybody to bring the tissues that day because there's no way I'm going to control the tears at that point.
Let it pour, sweetie. You know, just WenDee, let it go. Louis, say that
I'm
again.
just so grateful.
He needs that. You were saying, Luis?
No, yeah, I mean, and it's just something that he now, by him getting this, he's gonna have more freedom to be able to do more stuff outdoors and go out with WenDee if they have to go to church or whatever, even just to walk. You know what I mean? He's gonna have that without
how much WenDee does, right? In conjunction with what you're saying, Luis. Think of how much stuff WenDee does, but that'll free up her time to do, like you said, it's freeing it. Great point, Luis. It is freeing, but not just for him.
I don't know if you saw Louis, because you didn't see the video. In the video, there's a thing where he went to the sourcing with me. We went to the bins, and he's carrying the oxygen in one arm. It's a 5-pound oxygen machine, tube that he has right now. He's cradling it in one hand and trying to source with the other.
That's not possible. It's not sustainable. Yeah.
Yeah, but
that's what he does.
That's what he does.
That's what he was doing in the video. So this machine just will go over his arm like a backpack or like a man purse or whatever you want to call it, and he'll have freedom now.
Yep.
I mean, like I said, we went to the doctor on Monday. He ran out of oxygen at the doctor's office. Thankfully, ours is a trauma doctor, so he was able to give us oxygen while we were there.
Wow.
But, oxygen we take for granted. But people that are on oxygen, they have no other way of breathing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So did your husband source too, or does he just assist you mostly? Or did she freeze? I think she froze up a little bit.
Yeah, I think so.
Take her out for a minute and put her back in. Maybe I don't know if that'll help sometimes, but it might be her thing. At least
I think it's on. No, there she is.
Okay.
It's just a little, she's there.
Because I thought for a moment, I thought she
area.
answered my question. Okay. Is your internet giving you trouble, WenDee?
I don't know what it is. It keeps going blank and come back again. I can hear you guys.
Okay.
We have a storm in the area.
An emergency, just in case it doesn't work. Take off the visual just for a short period, not a long time, and it usually helps the bandwidth, just in case it keeps doing it. But I don't know if you heard my question. Did your husband source with you? Is he also a picker?
He usually sources with me when we go to the bins. Okay. When we go to the bin stores, which is what I do mainly now for sourcing, he does come with me.
Okay. Yeah.
The crazy part is I don't drive and he does. So usually we're together.
Okay. Wow.
So
but when I go to like Goodwill and stuff when I go to Goodwill and stuff like that, he wants no part of it. So.
Yeah, you know what? I'm kind of on the same page with him as of late because I still go to the Goodwill. When we say Goodwill, I think most of us definitively mean. I think it's understood that we talk about the racks, like a brick and mortar store. But when we talk about the bins, it's technically a Goodwill outlets, and an outlet is,
here we have the like the Amazon type bins. We don't have a Goodwill bins.
Okay, so kind of like Prison to Profits. He had
like the Savers and stuff like that. It's similar to that.
Oh,
that's what we have out here.
Can you tell us a little bit about that? Because I'm not that familiar. Because we're spoiled.
This one's an indoor place, and it has I think 20 or 25 different bins. And this one also had those are different days. Each day is a different thing. It's like $5, $10, I think $3 and $2 or something like that. And then around the bins, they have different things that you can buy, like electronics and clothes and furniture and computers and all that are a separate price. Those are an actual price. They could be $20, $30, whatever.
Deals going around the corner, man. Wow.
So you can get it both ways. You can buy the actual item, or you can buy the bin item.
That's amazing.
So we get it both ways.
Okay. So what's new for you in the future, not so distant future, in terms of what is your aspirations or goals or small aims that lead up to goals for content creation for you, WenDee? Because I know you're relatively new. Was it this year or was it late last year you started your?
I started in January.
It was in January.
I knew it was right around that cusp. And I remember
my goal is to get on a plan where I can maybe on Monday do all the videos for that week. And get them, scheduled and get them out.
Okay. How many videos are you wanting to put out a week?
2 or 3. But right now, what's happening, because I don't have the time at the moment, is I doing part-time instead of full-time. I would rather do
It
full-time.
may not be time, because I asked myself this too. It's like I haven't put out a sourcing type of or a pre-recorded video, and I went, that's okay. It's not my time. But I tell you what, next year, once I get everything stabilized and I have my new editing system up and stuff, things are going to change. So I was thinking, maybe have you thought about in terms of initiating a goal instead of like I hear you saying I want 2 or 3. But how about just trying 1 a week? And
that's what I'm trying for at this moment. Well, I had it scheduled where I was doing 2 a week, and it didn't end up happening. Oh, it's not happening this month because, like I said, this guy missing took precedence over everything else that's happening.
Well, that on top of you ministering, and you're trying to take care of like yourself and a whole family.
I am taking care of the whole family.
Yeah.
And just like Prison Prophet does, I do a blessing box every Sunday. Routinely, I have to give back to my community. That's one of the things I do.
If you guys don't know Prisoner Prophet, that's Dante. Go check him out. And shout out to everybody in the live chat. We want to thank you for being here. We're getting short on time. WenDee, we really cherish you and we thank you.
I'm honored that you guys had me on today. Thank you.
No, this time has already gone quick. You have a lot to talk about. You have a lot to share. I see you in coming months, maybe years. I see you doing great things, and I think if you persist, I think you're gonna appeal to an audience that's gonna really see through to authentic, genuine, caring, kind of individual that is a content creator. If you continue to follow that path, and if you don't, that's okay too. You can still be a reseller. You can participate and help this community the way you
I'm looking at probably doing content creation in a different manner, where it's more like you're talking about, like more mindful, because I want to be there to the group of like parents or women or men or whoever that are caregivers of their family, so that they have that they're doing plus everything else.
Good.
And I want to show it from that point of view, that it is still possible to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to put, like I said, schedules in place or, plans in place to do it, but it is doable.
I think it's a good point.
Like people like Luis that has 1,000 hats he wears every day.
Yeah, exactly.
It is doable, but
I think we all have 1,000 hats. It's just that I would tease Luis with that a lot because people don't see him, and I think people are starting to recognize that, and it's about time he gets his credit due, stepping up, because Luis has always been doing this all along. I think we all do. Like right now, I'm starting that stage of my life where now it's a different formation. Like you're trying to be a caretaker. You're trying to do this. You're trying to do that. You're trying to like what we call our householding, which is how do you run your household, meaning how do you get by paying bills, running life, this and that, without doing what we do. But back to what you were saying in terms of your content creation, I think that is really important that we all find our niche in terms of where is our voice and what is it who are we wanting to talk to, in addition to like what we understand. It's not because that's more important, but I think you can be doing what you're doing, like you said, where you can be talking to other people that are caretakers. You could talk to other caretakers that happen to be, content creators and or both resellers, and that's very important. You may have this really unique, amazing community, and small as it is, it could be like 30 to 1,000 people. Who knows? That's important that they go, oh God, I thought I was in this alone. No, I've been there. Here's a video. Check this out. It's possible to climb out of it. So we thank you for being here, WenDee.
I can tell you one thing real fast. I came from a couple of years ago where we had no food in the house at all.
Yeah.
Before all this, before I even knew about eBay or started doing eBay or any of that stuff. And we had, so I've been to the bottom of the barrel. I know what it's like to be in that situation. I know what it's like to be homeless. I know all those things. And I still was able to climb out of that. So that's the thing I want to show other people. There's a way to climb out.
Yep.
We've taken this past year, we took 2 homeless families out of the streets and gave them homes to live in, started them all over from the beginning. So, and I don't have I'm not a fancy person. I don't have a lot of money. I don't have any of that. We live on disability. So there's ways to do that. And that's what I want to show people, that you can be on the bottom and you can still climb back up.
Yeah, and you know what? And what somebody considers the bottom is not really the bottom at all. It's just a base to start with where you can start fresh, and then you can build your foundation of a pyramid to become more structured. I mean, I get it. You know, we all want celebrity. We all may want this or that, or maybe we don't. And I'm like, you know, I'm at a stage in my life where like, what's important? What is it that we can do for this community? And Luis and I are on this journey here doing this thing called Mindful Merchants, hoping it can bring a little bit more integrity to everybody across the board. Fancy or not, big names or not. That's not the point. It's like we all have a voice, but you know, we all need to be heard. That's, you know, and it's one thing to listen, but are you hearing what, you know, everybody?
I just want to make a difference in people's lives. If I can do that, I've succeeded in everything I can do.
Amen. Yeah, that's awesome. That's great to hear you say that, because it is about intention. You know, if we can just get our little lives together and just, you know, you didn't get it done this week, you didn't make a video, so what?
Yep.
You know, somebody's like, well, I didn't get my hours, or this. I'm like, well, good for you. But you know, some people have the more drive and ambition, but some people have power couples. Like, you got a couple, well, that person's taking that part of the household. There's a lot of single people, like you said. There's a lot of people that are homeless. There's a lot of people that are, well, you know what? I can't go make a video this week, or I can't go resell because I got to go make money to buy some food, or I got to pay this bill, this unexpected medical bill that's coming up. You're showing us courage. So keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
And thank you. And I think it's known that you're more than grateful, because you're a person that
definitely,
you know, you don't need to, you don't really, you know, we didn't bring you on here to say it, but you did say it. And we're just happy that it all worked out. And I know Louis,
the follow-up video is going to be incredible, and it will be a live video. So
awesome.
Whatever we see, whatever happens, you guys will see, because I'm not in any editing at all. It's going to be a live video.
Cool deal. Cool deal.
So you guys will see everything, beginning to end.
So amazing. I'm excited for you, and I'm excited to see
you
and, you know, many other guests that's coming on here. You know, it's just amazing, but it's so hard. No, and don't feel bad if you can't. That's why I say I bookmarked, like I was telling Luis, I bookmarked them. You know, the ladies that were doing their little what do you call it, the convention, and I you know, it's just like there's so much out there, but like, where can we put our attention? And you brought that up too. It's like, put your attention on taking care of yourself first. And you can take care of other people. And when you get a chance, you can watch these videos, because that's why
we're the foundation. If we have to be the foundation, and then we can build from that point. Because without a foundation, you can't get nothing done.
Anybody that's a new reseller, give them a couple little pieces of suggestions, not necessarily advice, but advice if you want. And by the way, there's a couple links, you guys in the live chat. Go see Johnny at the bingo. We got WenDee, Lucky Charm WenDee. Her links are down below, but Luis was so kind to put them in the side there. Hello to everybody that came in. Shout out to the chat. Please.
Thanks for everybody that came today.
Yes, thank you. And Luis, we're going to let WenDee just close us out. I'm just going to say maintain your focus and elevate. WenDee, what would you give advice to a new reseller, or somebody that's, you know, having time struggling as a reseller?
Take it one step at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time if you have to. And like I said, walk away when you, take breaks. When you get stressed out, walk outside a minute. Let that sunshine hit you. Yeah. It will restart your mind, and you'll have a better day. And be positive in everything that you do.
There we have it. Luis, you want to close us out?
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone for, like I said, joining us today, and anybody and everyone that helped us on this past Friday for WenDees, you know, fundraisers that we did for her husband Bob. And you know, I was like I said, I was glad I was able to come in and help out.
Yeah.
In any way I was able to.
So I think everybody that was there just
thanks to everyone that participated and that hung out the 7.5 hours. So it was fun. We did have a lot of fun, and it was for a great cause. So definitely. And besides that, thank you guys for joining us every Monday here on Mindful Merchants. Tomorrow we'll have our auction tomorrow. I have Westside Gary and Who's Tom Cruise on my auction tomorrow. So make sure you guys come check it out. It's gonna be I don't even know
an inferno.
It's gonna be an inferno. So make sure
go check it out, you guys. Hit his notification bell. Go check it out. And,
then Wednesday I'll be on with Fundamentals of Side Hustling and Regina for their Wednesday Hump Day. On I'm not sure whose channel it will be on, but it starts at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So make
Can't
sure you
be
guys
there for either thing. Tune in later, but like
Yeah,
like I always get to
exactly.
watch Regina or Derek's thing. Sometimes I come in late because I'm out. Wednesday's a busy day for me.
Yep.
But you can always. That nice thing about YouTube, you get to
There was
rewatch.
Yep, exactly.
Thank you everybody for being here. This is Mindful
guys.
Merchant.
Thank you.
WenDee, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Wendy,
you.
for joining us today.
Thank
See
you.
you guys. Have a blessed day. Stay productive.
Peace out to the live